No, I'm just going to do this. This is bigger than fighting for, winning the championship. We're humanitarians. We're helping people. That's bigger. I'm into that now.
Radio.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. We're back with vengeance and news and things and stuff.
And face down. Hut.
Is that what they say is face down?
Yeah, that's what I always say.
Face down?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense.
Face down. Or it could be like, face.
Maybe they're saying, Tyson. Because we got some big Tyson news this week for you guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah, at the same time, let's rewind a little bit. That's my rewind sound effect. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. But that reminds me, I should load up my sound effects so we can do sound effects later. It's gonna be a secret.
Okay, mine's loaded up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we? Oh yeah, we're on the internet right now, and you downloaded or you're currently listening to a podcast that's currently on the internet. And there's 3 seasons of this podcast, and this is episode 13 of Fuzz Jock Radio. I'm your host, Fuzzy. We actually have 3 hosts. The other one is C-Dubs.
Hola.
Out in California. And the one that keeps on interrupting us is Jameis. He's also a host. We have 3 hosts. We don't do it like everybody else. We do it differently.
Yeah, so I can just chime in whenever I want. I'm a host.
Yeah, you are
a host. Yeah, I'm talking, so I'm gonna just talk. Anyway, I don't want to keep doing that.
It's the way it works. And I gotta say, guys. Okay, so during all of season 3, and I don't remember about season 2, but I know for a fact for season 3 we have been apart this whole time. Right? Mm-hmm. We haven't had one episode that we're in the same room, right?
In season 2 as well.
2 as well.
2 as well. So we've had practice at this.
Yeah.
That's
why it goes so smooth every single time.
Wait a minute. Are we now been not in the studio together more than we have been in the studio?
Pretty sure.
I think we're either there or we're just about to be there, because I think we've done
30.
Yeah.
9
million.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's more.
I would like to call this out.
Okay.
We are definitely not a COVID podcast. We did not start because of COVID. Right? I want to make sure that everybody knows this, because there are going to be a lot of podcasts that go out there and they can't claim that they've been around before COVID, right? And I also want to say, even though we went from in studio live to on the internet live together, I think we've done a really good job at not making it seem like we are not to toot my own horn or anything here, but I think our collective horns, I should say, because there's 3 of us. It doesn't really seem, when I listen back, it doesn't really seem that obvious that we're not in the same room. I mean, Charlie does because he's all the way out in California.
It's always been remotely for C-Dub. So
you can tell. You can always tell it's Charlie, no matter what. He's just so far away.
It's because I'm in the distance.
But I guess what I'm trying to get to is that you can tell, like you can absolutely tell that there are people that are not used to speaking to their friends or family via internet communications. They're either talking over each other, or when somebody starts talking over, or when they start talking at the same time, both of them stop at the same time. And then they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
what?
oh no, you,
no, you,
but then you go,
but you,
yeah,
we don't do that.
yeah.
I don't love it.
Never.
I just want to point that out there. You know, we're not a COVID podcast. We didn't start during COVID, and at the same time, we transitioned very well to online.
Basically, we're about the awesomest thing you could ever listen to.
So thank you, listeners, for listening and realizing
Yeah.
that we are the best thing for you to listen to right now.
We are world champions. So
We are world champions.
and you can be too.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that up, Charlie. You can go to fuzztalkshop.com and purchase yourself a Fuzzy Memory of Trivia champion shirt and be a world champion just like us. So all you have to do is $14.99 for a t-shirt. Get one for Christmas, for yourself, for Hanukkah, for Kwanzaa, for whatever
Birthdays.
holiday or birthday that you might celebrate. If you celebrate Muhammad Ali's birthday, fucking buy a shirt. Why not? Support Fuzz Talk Radio, Fuzz Jock Radio. It'd be great. Wow.
Support yourself too.
We already
Health-
got the
healthcare.
advertisements out of the way, guys. And by the way, we don't have advertisements other than for our own product on this show. So good job, listener, for picking out a good podcast to listen to. This is currently the best thing for you to listen to. Because
We're so great. You're the
because
best.
You are listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everything else is so beneath us.
Okay, on with the show. Enough of our introductions. Guys, how's your week? What's going on? How you feeling? Yeah, kind of like that. Okay.
Oh, it looks like he's sleepy.
He looks sleepy.
I'm sleepy
You
guy.
been playing a lot of video games there, JMS?
No, yeah,
Wow.
but also
was not expecting a no out of you from that question. What's up?
no, I've been playing this game called Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
rad.
Yeah, it came out a while ago. You're just getting
It
into
did. No, I'm on like my third run on the game.
Oh,
Just revisiting. But no, you see me rubbing my eyes because I found these glasses, and I found they were old glasses of mine.
oh, they weren't just some random.
You
No.
didn't just find him in a toilet.
No, these were in.
Charlie,
I mean, they
I
were
was gonna say a
in my
bench.
bathroom.
I was gonna say a bench in the park next to a book, and then somebody was like, somebody's hinting to
Hey,
James. Like,
glasses! And they're like hands crawling in the knees in the grass.
there's
Hey,
James.
glasses!
Totally sees
And I'm
this
just
old
like,
person.
oh, these are pretty nice. These- Walk away.
Just doesn't even address the old person crawling on the ground looking for him. Jesus Christ.
No, but I
Okay.
found them in my bathroom.
Okay.
Actually, and some old glasses, but I put them on, and the prescription was current enough, and the lenses are in much better repair than my last glasses.
Good.
So they seem nicer, but then I've noticed that this bow is really kind of messed up. So.
Maybe that's why you stopped wearing them.
Yeah.
Did you forget?
That's probably why I stopped wearing them. But now I had the forethought to order new glasses already, even before I found these. So
I'm glad you had the before thought.
I'm just waiting for my new glasses. Then life will turn around. Everything will be better then.
It's just kind of mind blowing, man.
C-Dubs, how was your day? Or let's just say day.
Yeah.
How was your
How
day?
was my day?
Yeah. I don't care
That
about
was
the
a
rest of
day.
your week.
I
Sorry.
mean, this week I played bingo with my family over Zoom.
Yes, I was part of that.
you were part of it,
Yep.
and yeah, I've been doing some projects around the house and whatnot, but been also playing a lot of video games.
Okay.
It's fun to play
It's
video games.
it's a great way to stay inside.
It's a great way to
A
pass some time.
wonderful way to stay inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fun. How about you, Fuzzy?
Oh, me?
Did you play video games?
Do you want to know what I did this week?
What did you
I
do?
played video games as well.
Oh,
It's a great way
boy.
to stay inside.
You know, I was like, yo, there's a pandemic outside. It's getting really bad out there. It's like worse than it was in March when I was really scared that I was going to go to the gas station and just die at the gas station once I got there. You know, worse than that. And so I'm like, well, fuck it. I want to stay home and play some video games. I reset up my Twitch account, which if you want to check me play video games and smoke a bunch of CBD, go to twitch.tv/afuzzyworld. There you will see me play video games. Not just play video games, but play them.
Experience them.
Like, I will talk to you and say hello and while playing video games, and it's amazing. It's like the most amazing thing you ever see. Some people fall asleep to it. It's so cool. And that's twitch.tv/afuzzyworld. If you get bored after listening to all of our podcasts, actually, you can probably listen to the podcast while watching the stream and listening to me talk to you about the video games. It might get a little confusing. You might want to put like the podcast all the way to the right channel, so you have the podcast in the right ear, and then the Twitch cast in the all the way in the left channel, and then you have it in the left ear, so you can differentiate which one you're listening to at the same time.
And if you find out that it syncs up like Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz, you know, let us
That'll
know.
never happen.
Way into that
Charlie.
That'll
That's
never happen.
something for the listener to find out.
That'll
Don't
never
give 'em those
happen.
clues. Don't give them those clues.
This-
So I don't have my.
Did you guys see Monday Night Football?
I did. That's right.
What happened in the Monday Night Football?
What a crazy game!
Oh boy,
The bird bath
Bird bath.
of the Seahawks and the Eagles. The Eagles were not very good,
No, they were terrible.
but then accidentally got exciting in the last 12 seconds of the game.
So we're definitely back. We're definitely back to Monday Night Football being boring again. The bird bath was not that fun to watch until the very end, like James was saying. They almost got an onside, like they almost tied it by getting an onside kick, and then they would have potentially did a touchdown with a 2-point conversion, and they would have won.
All within the span of you taking a bathroom break.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get up to use the bathroom to a 23-9 game and almost came back to a tied game.
It almost happened.
Yeah.
It would have been really exciting had he come back and we'd have been like, "You
Which-
won't believe it, man."
You
That-
know?
That would have been a good game.
It's something I like to joke about, like when a team is obviously losing with very little time left, and be like, "Well, I don't know, is it possible?" And like,
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
no.
technically, but they'll never do that. And like they tried to do it, and they almost did it. It was cool.
Well, that was some weird shit.
It was some weird shit.
That would have been pretty funny to have happen to the Seahawks because they are historically the team that everyone remembers doing the crazy onside kick, kicker throwing a touchdown, all to beat Green Bay. In,
Everybody remembers that.
playoff game. Everyone remembers that one.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Usually, football is not too delicious.
No, that was a delicious game though. Packers losing in overtime to the Seahawks when the Seahawks should have had no chance to beat them. Pretty good game.
Did the Packers win again?
That was the year the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, I think.
Sorry, I got a
Super.
little
Yeah.
lost here. My
You're
computer
good.
stalled
You
a
looking
little
for
bit.
notes?
Yeah, I got them. So
Speaking of Seattle,
yeah, speaking of well, yeah,
The Seahawks.
the Seahawks.
They're yeah. That's we were speaking of them and we can speak more of them.
they're the only team so far in the entire NFL without a COVID incident.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Isn't that insane? One team. There's only one.
You mean like today? They're the
Well,
only
yeah, so
team that
far.
didn't have one today. Like so far, the whole time.
So far.
Well,
so far
like,
this whole season.
Since the whole season, yeah, which is
Oh.
because the Vikings would have been on that list, but Thielen just got it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's just crazy. Like hockey went through the bubble without getting a case. NBA went through the bubble without getting a case or a scare. WNBA went in the bubble, but they did have a scare at the very end there. But it was very end, and it's like from the very beginning, right? The beginning of the season, the NFL's been dealing with it.
Yeah. It was like the first week they had no positive cases and they were so excited. And then it became week 2.
Gotta say, I did notice on the sidelines, players were actually wearing masks now.
That's part of the new things that they're forcing.
Well, that is a new
forcing
thing.
to do. It's good. Yes. And it's good. They're not forcing. They're encouraging them to wear masks when they're on the sidelines,
Mm-hmm.
I think. But it's good. They should be.
It should be.
I don't know. I just don't really have many thoughts on that. Seattle is the only team without a COVID incident. I don't know what to even think about it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seattle.
Because it's cool. Yeah, that's awesome, Seattle, but that shouldn't be a thing.
That's
Like
what's
all
up.
of these
Yeah.
teams, all the teams should be on that list. Not just one.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing.
Otherwise we shouldn't be fucking playing
That-
NFL football, right? Like I thought that was the deal. If they couldn't do
That's-
it without
that's the
controlling the
point there.
cases, right? They wouldn't be playing. Well, obviously they
You
can't
clearly
control it.
Well, it's making money, so they're going to keep it going.
That's dumb.
Risking how many people's lives?
A lot.
You know?
And it's that, but I just.
Which okay, so it brings it okay, so whatever. Like once again, like I think we made a decision at one point in the podcast that we can't just sit and swear off what's going on because they're going to do it anyway, right? We can't just sit here and boil our brains about how pissed off we are about this happening because it's going to happen no matter what, right? And so we got to move on. And as hosts, we don't have to be okay with it, but we have to be able to move on and not just stick at one thing and say, well, so what I'm trying to say is like the way I want to move on with this without just sitting here and spinning our wheels and saying this is fucking stupid is that it does bring into interesting football situations.
It does.
Yeah.
Like the interesting football situation that just recently happened that brought up asking of certain rules and stuff like that, and we wouldn't have known about these different rules if this wouldn't have happened, was the Broncos game. They entered the week knowing that they weren't going to have a quarterback.
Correct.
Because
And with that,
they were on
it was
COVID.
all because the starting quarterback had tested positive and was in a room with the other players, so they had all been in contact.
Okay, wait.
And
Did the quarterback that tested positive? Did he know he tested positive when he went into the quarterback room with the other two quarterbacks?
No, he did
Okay,
not.
because you don't. Once again, you don't show signs that you're sick right away. So positive quarterback went into quarterback room with the other two
The other
quarterbacks. Okay, they go into the room with masks on, of course, to look over the films, right?
Well, it sounds like they had some issues with the masks in the room, meaning they either weren't wearing them or not wearing them properly during the meeting.
Like
And
dick noses.
yeah, they probably had their noses out or had them wrapped around their chins, whatever.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so an obvious, not a good thing here.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows that anybody's positive right now, but at the same time, the rules state that you need, like, not the rules.
There's exposure. There's a positive,
You
and
need to
there's
have a mask
exposure
on.
to the.
No matter what, you need to have a mask on. They didn't. Fuck. Okay, who cares, right? Because they're in their own locker room. Who's gonna fucking rat them out for not wearing masks?
Oddly enough, it sounds like the Broncos ratted themselves out. They gave the footage to the NFL, and the NFL was the ones who kind of were like, "Listen, you cannot have these people play now."
What?
And yeah,
So they told on themselves, probably like, okay, shit, we better. I bet they were like, fuck, somebody's gonna find out if we don't tell people ourselves, right?
And I think they also thought it would help them get a delay for the game, which did not happen because there was not a technical outbreak.
Oh, wait a minute. So they stopped an outbreak from happening by telling on themselves. And then the NFL's like, okay, well, thank you. These guys can't play. They got to go on IR. And you, unfortunately, you have no quarterbacks to start your Sunday game. And they're like, what? We need to postpone it. No, there was no outbreak. You still have to play Sunday, and you have no quarterbacks. So what do? Holy fuck. We're in like I said, we're in a weird football situation. Something that you would never even think of.
Yeah.
A team going into the game with no quarterback. What do you do?
It sounds like all week they kept saying that they were going to have a running back fill in for the position and possibly playing quarterback. But that turned out to be a trick, and they had a wide receiver who didn't take a single snap, not a single practice snap that week at quarterback, played quarterback.
Well, okay.
That's probably a good idea.
Well,
You just
okay, that makes sense to me, because other than other than quarterback coaches, or who would know the plays the most of the team would be wide receivers. Other than the quarterback coaches themselves or other coaches, the wide receivers would know the plays a lot the most, right? So that would make sense. And then also that dude, yeah, he played quarterback in Wake Forest, I think it was, in college. Either way,
it was Wake Forest.
And then so that makes sense to get a wide receiver. I did hear that they also asked the NFL if they could actually start
John Elway,
coach, and the NFL
wanted to start a coach.
The NFL's said no. And they're like,
they wanted to have a coach play.
Why not? And then this brings you around to rules that you didn't realize existed until a pandemic hits, and the NFL's fucking stupid and pushes through a pandemic and doesn't worry about anybody dying. Is that there's a rule stating that you can't put a coach on an active roster. You can't draft a coach on your squad, because
It's illegal.
they don't want teams to squirrel away potential players in the coaching staff.
Which is really smart. I mean, that is smart.
It had to have happened.
Yeah. Oh,
Someone
yeah.
tried it.
For them to even think of that rule, that's a rule that you wouldn't think of unless if it happened, right? It's like that's a Bill Belichick move.
Yeah. See that Tom? It's I love the idea though of someone stacking like couple like, oh, they just retired, now they're coaches, and then it's like, oh, what's that? We need injury. Quick, coach, suit up. Oh, look, we've got last year's MVP who just retired, suiting up at running back. You know, like they could have pulled some shit like that.
Yeah. So
That'd be cool.
That would have been cool.
You had a question on the off air about this situation.
I did, and mine was, couldn't they have gotten Colin Kaepernick for this? Like, I bet he is available.
What is he doing? Well, okay. My question is with that is, and possibly the coach one, if they would have allowed that, is can they draft somebody just any time in the season?
Well, it's not drafting; it's a free agent. It depends on if they're eligible.
I guess that's what I mean. Can they can pick up anybody during let's say on free agency anytime during the season? There's no cutoff time, like because there's trade cutoff times, right?
Yes, and that's so that teams can't like, oh, we're week 13, you can't decide we suck and we're gonna send off all the good guys to the number 1 seed, to guarantee they win. That's why it's kind of early in the seasons, because it's like you still don't know. You don't know what you got.
So Colin is in free agency.
Yes, unrestricted, I believe.
Well, I looked up the answer to that.
Oh, I want to know.
Well, the notion of Colin Kaepernick playing for the Broncos is an interesting concept. Number one, COVID-19 protocols would still prohibit him from suiting up tomorrow. And then, what do they do? Yeah, they got to test, right? They got to test themselves.
They got to test.
And then number two, they said, this quote was, said that John Elway and Denver already had their chance, and the two parties did not come anywhere close to an agreement. So they already talked about it. So,
Nowhere close.
Nowhere close.
Looking more and more like the former Wake QB. Yeah. It's just, how did he do?
He threw 9 attempts. He completed 1, and then 2 of them were intercepted.
So completed 3.
3 passes, 2 to the other team. Yes.
So not too much worse than Cousins.
Yeah. Well,
he did help your buddy Taysom Hill get another win, so there was that.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Yeah, you like that Taysom Hill.
He's the greatest.
You should get a sound effect button that says Taysom Hill updates or something.
Follow him for the rest of his career.
I am trying to put in sound effects into this, but it is tough to do both things at the same time and think.
Yeah.
But
when it comes to drug tests, we can all beat cocaine. We can all beat cocaine drug testing. You have to stay away from it for 3 days or so. We could beat that, right? But for weed, we got 45 days.
Yeah.
We got to wait 45 days in our system. And I think it stays in our system because it belongs there. Weed comes out, cocaine comes out because it doesn't belong there. Our body's trying to get rid of it.
yeah, we got big news about that Mr. Tyson's there coming up later on in the cast.
It's really nice that he keeps calling in, though. That's really kind of him.
Yeah. There's more announcements about the NFL. So.
Well, I was gonna get to the Vikings since we're talking about Kirk Cousins. Like you brought up, he's looking like Kirk Cousins
because
a little bit had to do with it. These guys kind of feeling their oats a little bit.
They felt their oats.
Oh yeah,
and they won yesterday.
No.
Yeah, they won.
No.
Yeah.
They won.
Was it accidentally?
You were looking at episode 12's notes earlier. They won.
Oh.
They won this week.
They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did it look until the last quarter?
That's when it happened.
But that's when Kirk time is.
It's
garbage
day.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. It was pretty disheartening to see Chad BB muff that punt at the end. But
you know,
man,
we're
to
not
see
very
him get
good.
the redemption, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So the redemption was,
He got the touchdown to win the game.
yeah.
I heard that they fumbled the ball so many times in a row. Like they just started the game being like, I can't hold the football. Doodly doo. Oh no, a touchdown. And then they try again. They're like, oh, I don't know how to hold the football. Doodly doo.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest
Second
or
half.
prettiest game, that's for sure.
Why do they do that?
It's the way the Vikings did. I mean, they are a young team.
They should-
They're
they
in
should-
building year. They're just using
And
Kurt to get Trevor.
We're playing a team that had the same record as us, basically. I mean, it should have been pretty even. I mean, the Panthers had almost the exact same record as us. That game being as close as it was, even though it was because of 2 fluky touchdowns, because of fumbles, doesn't matter. That kind of proves that we're equal teams,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and the Vikings
That's
just
a good
happen to
point.
be a little bit better.
that's a good point.
So, I'm happy they got the win, but there's a lot of improvement that can go around the team. But they got the win. That's what's important.
So yeah, good job.
Did we ever
on the
talk
Vikings.
about the Vikings signing Kaepernick? Why don't they do that?
They can't afford it.
Oh yeah,
That's the big thing.
sorry.
And they just re-signed Kurt again.
Cool.
They're gonna re-sign him every week.
Every week. Another interesting football situation that has been brought up because of COVID. California, Santa Clara County announced that there's stringent social distancing measures to help curb the spread of COVID-19 on Saturday. Those new measures include a 3-week ban on contact sports, Jamez, in the county.
Yeah, you can't do football then.
No, the county said that the ban applies to all professional, collegiate, and youth sports teams. So that includes NFL. That includes the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
49ers about to be 86th.
They can't play in their own county. And they got
Yeah.
2 home games coming up.
Uh-oh.
What are they going to do?
Uh,
Well, luckily,
They talked about
Ask the
bringing
team.
him to Fight Island.
yeah, that'd be great.
It is real.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is real.
One of these days, I'll believe that.
It is real.
No, yeah,
But
no.
no,
They found Arizona. Arizona's going to
Mhm.
take them.
Okay.
Starting on Monday
They're
night
gonna-
versus Buffalo. Go ahead.
Do they have the option to keep them?
They do not. They're just loaning.
Okay.
That's a good
It's on loan.
question. Like, are they? So they're putting them on loan to get all that revenue money and stuff like that. Like, there's got to be some type of revenue that comes in.
They probably have to pay the Arizona Cardinals a rental fee for the stadium. Actually, now that I think about it, they probably don't, because the NFL is run as a socialist company. So the money that the 49ers make is the same money that the Arizona Cardinals make. So, I mean, really,
Interesting.
it's all their own money. It's just merchandise sales that vary, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question now that I think about it.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
The Cardinals.
They might keep them.
So from what I'm seeing with these quotes that I got, the Cardinals organization, State Farm Stadium, and league officials have been supportive and accommodating as we work through the many logistical issues involved in relocating NFL games, the 49ers said in a statement. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan said it was extremely disappointing the players and coaches learned about the new county rules on social media as they were on the plane headed for their game on Sunday at the Rams. With biggest thing for me is us all leaving our families. We're all human just like everyone else. It's a big deal to leave your family for the whole month of December. A huge deal, as everyone knows. This virus is a huge deal. Yeah.
It is a huge deal.
Yeah, it is.
And
That's why basketball players went into a bubble for months and didn't see their families. But go on. It's fine. Maybe Arizona can just keep the 49ers.
good freaking point there, James. You know, NHL did the same thing.
For more than a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People doing the right thing, are they doing the same thing that can afford to stay home?
Yeah.
There are people that don't go out unless they have to go to work or they have to get food for their grocery shelves, and a lot of times that doesn't even happen. They just get delivered. And if people did that more, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. There's a chance, James, that right now we would be in the same room broadcasting instead of online. If
There
we
would
would
be a
have
good
taken,
chance.
if everyone would have taken everything seriously, like right away. When it was like, when you remember that time that I was saying that it was really scary and I was worried that I was gonna get, I was gonna die right at the counter at SA when I.
And
when I
then the
got
time
food.
that you did, and then you're like, hey, I got another life.
Well, I don't want to. I'm not making light of this at all, but I also don't want to speculate. But I am going to speculate. What if that's what happened to the Dallas coach that died in front of the team players?
Man.
Did you hear about that, dude?
In front of the players?
The strength coach, Marcus Paul, died Wednesday, a day after being taken to the hospital after experiencing a medical emergency at the team's facility. He was 54. The team said the cause of death was pending. And yeah, he died, or he collapsed. He didn't die at the facility. He went to the hospital after collapsing in front of everybody and then ended up passing away
Yeah.
at the hospital.
Really fucked up.
Like, fucked up. Like, out of nowhere, during this pandemic, where we know it's a blood clot disease, and a couple podcasts ago, we had talked about finding the situation where doctors were worried about athletes getting COVID because it could cause sudden death. What if this is the first case of it? And this is not, and the reason why we don't know what happened, I mean, all respects to his family and everybody that if it's them and they're the reasons why they don't want people to know, and it's just for the sanctity of his memory or something, whatever. I understand that. But what if it was COVID and the NFL's like, we're not letting people know about this? Can you imagine if it was? And people's reaction if they found out that, oh, wow, somebody died in front of the team players of COVID and we're not taking this seriously, and we have all these motherfuckers catching COVID. It's fucked up. I hope for nothing like this to happen to anybody. And it sucks. Like, 54 years old is really young. And for to be a strength coach, I'm guessing he was in very good shape.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just crazy. And like you said, there are so many outbreaks in the NFL. I mean, we're still waiting. This week isn't over. We have a game tomorrow still. There's another game of football to be played to finish this week because there's such a big outbreak in the Ravens organization.
Tuesday.
They have like
didn't that game get moved to Wednesday already?
It's Wednesday now. Yeah, it was supposed to be Tuesday. Now it's Wednesday
because
it's because they keep getting positive tests.
Why don't they cancel that game?
They want to have it happen. They really do.
A lot of people want a lot of things. Go back to bed.
Crazy. And because of this also changes 2 other games. So now there's going to be football on Tuesday in a couple weeks. On December 7th, there will be Tuesday night football again because of the delay of this game. And then there will be 2 games on Monday next week also.
What the fuck? sorry, sorry for my French, motherfuckers, but like, what the
Just
fuck
cancel.
is Roger Goodall
NFL.
doing? What is he doing?
They think they can get to the end of this outbreak and still be able to pull off the game, but they're not gonna. They're not gonna.
The
Or
outbreak's
they're
not.
gonna do it, and all the wrong people are gonna play.
The outbreak's not going to end until we get a vaccine, and that's not anytime soon.
This is like, and when they're practicing and they have those big dummies set up that they tackle and push.
The sleds.
That's like what the NFL's trying to do to the pandemic. Just like, or tackle and run it over with our pads.
No, that's not what they're trying to do. And their players are those dummies. Like, they don't care about their players, obviously.
Nope.
They just care about the money. They don't care about their fans as if they're bringing fans in. They just care about the money. They don't care about their coaches. They don't care about the staff. This isn't the MLB. This isn't the NBA.
Nope.
This is the NFL, where we are a charity organization and we need to make money so we can donate that money to whatever charities we donate and make that money and get those
all the charities
images
that we
of the
own.
Marines and the Army all over the place so we can start brainwashing your kids into liking the Army and start fighting for wars that don't exist or for things that don't mean anything to regular citizens of America. And guys, stop me here. We got to get out of this conspiracy theories. So the NFL is a death march into COVID.
Good job,
Not
NFL.
just the NFL. College, it sounds like too.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and this is not cool.
No.
Since we're on the topic, let's just keep
Let's
get
it going.
these out.
The Gophers. Remember we talked about the Gophers last week? They had a nice
Yeah.
big outbreak. Well, there are now up to 47 members of the Gophers team.
That's insane.
That's
so
that's like indicative of a COVID party and like whatever. Done with that team.
21 players, 26 staff members.
many. I mean, the rest of their season's basically got to be canceled now at this point.
They canceled last week's game against Wisconsin and have paused the team's activities since last Tuesday.
But in the Big Ten, you have to take off. I believe it's 14 days for each person with the positive test. Well,
For each person.
well, no, I'm saying, so the last person that tests positive, it's 14
Yeah.
days from then.
Yeah.
So every time someone new tests positive, it's 14
Okay.
more days
So
that there's a
fuzzy math here.
They could stretch this out till
14.
next season, I bet.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, why not? 14 times 7 plus 2, carry the 3.
Always carry the 3.
47. Isn't that the number? Isn't that the magic number? No, that's 42, isn't it? The God number?
Yeah. It's 9.
9?
9 is my favorite number.
9
That's-
is C-Dub's
It's a big
favorite number.
misconception about that.
Okay. Yeah, no, 47 members of the Gophers football team.
Jeez. Get it together, guys.
So
Giving Minnesota a horrible name.
how? Like, how can this happen?
That's so
I'm mad.
un-Minnesotan. That's so
these-
un-Minnesotan.
And these poor young adults are playing for nothing.
Yeah.
They're getting it for
They're-
nothing.
Now they're all
They're
sick.
paying to make
Now they're
other
all
people a bunch
sick.
of money.
Getting
So-
everybody else around them sick. And that's the worst part of it, is that they go 2 weeks without getting symptoms. So I suppose that they're on a protocol of getting tested more often than just feeling sick, right?
Mhm.
I'd hope so.
How many people
hope
do
too.
49 exponentially infect? Because
I
how long
mean,
did these guys have it without knowing that they had it, and how many people did they talk to? How many people did they spread it to? 49 people is a lot of fucking people. That's half of 100 almost.
Just irresponsibility. It's irresponsible. Okay, we gotta
moving on.
All we got for COVID. We promise you we're moving on from COVID. Now we got some good news, something lighthearted to talk about. Sarah Fuller.
Taysom Hill.
No, we're gonna talk about Sarah Fuller.
Sarah Fuller. She will
She
be.
was the first.
Yeah, go ahead.
She was the first woman to play in a college football game. She suited up and she logged a snap and kicked off for the opening of the game. And yeah, so that was powerful.
That's awesome.
She was a soccer player, so she knew how to kick and all that stuff.
Man, those soccer players, they've been coming over from soccer to football as a kicker since I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah, man, soccer players since high school, they've been transferring. Like, I remember my high school coach being like, "We got this soccer player that can't play soccer this season, but can he play football?"
And he's like, "Yeah, I play football."
Football, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
all
but
like,
he-
"Yeah,
he-
I'll play football."
Yeah, and they get him to kick because he can kick. This and the coaches say, they point at the guy, that's down the field. They point at him down the field, and they're like, "This guy can kick. You should think about bringing him over to the football team from the soccer team, because the soccer team for some reason can't have him on. Like, it's not going to work this season. So he needs to keep on practicing, and they're pointing at him, and he's, practicing, and they're looking, and then the football coach probably has his arms crossed across his chest. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that soccer stuff.
No, it's football.
They try to call it football, but it's not. It's soccer.
No, football.
You say he can kick? And then the guy's like, "Yeah, he can kick." Just you see. And then the football coach is like, "Okay." And whistles his whistle. And then that's the whistle sound. And then
See that kid over there? Go kick him.
and he's like, Hey kid, get over here." And the kid comes running. Me, coach? And he's like, "Yeah, you. I hear you can kick. Can you kick? Kick that football." And then the kid goes and kicks it, and goes like fucking far. So far. Like
Breaks
further
church's window.
further than anybody's seen it, and breaks a fucking church's window. And the coach just takes his sunglasses off, puts it in his pocket, and says, "Kid,
Mother of God.
you're suiting up."
I didn't
Put me
see
a
that movie.
coach. I'm ready to go.
The Bills are now 8-3. Dolphins are 7-4. Patriots are 5-6. Jets are 0-11. The Chiefs are 10-1. Raiders are 6-5. Broncos are 4-7. Chargers are 3-8. Steelers are 10-0. Browns are 8-3. Ravens are 6-4. Bengals are 2-8. Titans are 8-3. Colts are 7-4. Texans 4-7. Jaguars 1-0. No, 1-10.
1-10.
Oh, the
Where
Bengals
does
have
that-
a tied game in there. Who else has a tied game? That's the only Bengal. How are the Bengals 2-8-1, and there aren't any other teams with one?
They tied with the Eagles.
Where are the Eagles? Then?
Yeah, you don't have them on there.
I
Yeah.
don't.
You're
We don't
missing
have
two.
the NFC.
Oh, I always forget the NFC.
Yeah, no one cares about them, do they?
Okay,
Who's even in the NFC?
I don't know.
Not anyone good.
Okay, let's see. Is this button?
Yeah. Play the button.
Okay.
Play the button.
Moving on. Oop, I just turned off my notes there.
Did you know that the Korean baseball season ended?
What?
Yes.
What? Over in the
Unfortunately, our Doosan Bears that are rooting for did not unseat the champions.
Hmm.
Yep. The Dinos are champions again.
Yeah, they're always the champions.
Yeah, they're really good. It's almost like the state pays them.
I think they do.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do. I've heard that.
So we had
Did you know-
what? Go ahead.
Did you know we had a big birthday, James?
Yeah.
It's a birthday episode again.
Yeah.
I did.
Episodes.
Happy birthday.
This one is like. Oop. This birthday is more like a holiday for me.
There you go. You celebrate. You buy Fuzz Talk Radio T-shirts for this holiday
It was
for yourself.
It was really tough to figure out which section to put this birthday in as well.
That's correct.
Yeah.
These are all
The
clues.
best.
These are all clues,
And-
guys. Fans, tweet us or text us or message us. Let us know whose birthday it is by those clues that we just told you.
Yeah. And we'll tell
It
you.
was hard to figure out which section to put this birthday in. What was the
Or
other?
do we wait until the end of the
James'
show?
holiday.
It's James's holiday where he buys his own shirts.
That's how important this birthday is.
We'll
Should we
wait
keep
till the
this a
end.
surprise? Yeah, okay.
We're gonna get calls.
Oh,
and
man.
stuff.
So good.
What we should give him one more. His name, first name, starts with 2 letters. It consists of 2 letters. That's all we're gonna say. Okay. Moving on. We have
Jerry.
Rocco.
Rocco.
We got a Rocco sound clip, and he'd like to say a couple words here.
I
Rocco.
love Rocco. The
Hey,
chosen
everybody.
one.
Rocco Baldelli here. I just wanted to take a second and say thank you to all the Twins fans out there and all of Twins territory. It was a crazy year, but you were there with us the whole way. One thing that we realize now, maybe more than ever, is just how important the fans are to the game. I can't tell you how many players just would come out and say, man, I wish the fans were here. And I really don't feel like myself without the fans in the stands during these games. It's something that we'll never forget, and something that becomes more and more apparent every day. One thing we had to do this winter, unfortunately, but the right thing to do, was to cancel our Twins Fest and our caravan. Obviously, an emotional and difficult decision, but one that we know is the right thing to do. All that being said, I'm really excited to see what the Twins have in store and are coming up with right now, so we can spend some time with you, engage you, and do something that's fun going into spring training this year. And the next time we see each other in person, and Tommy Watkins is snagging a ground ball over by the first base coach's box, we hope that he's not putting it in a bucket and he's walking it over to the sidelines and he's handing it to a fan and making someone smile. And that's what we're waiting for, all of us. So have a great winter. Thank you again, and please stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rocco. We can't wait for that either.
Thank you, Rocco.
So
Hey, Rocco, this is James. Rocco.
He
James here.
didn't really call in James. That was
Thank you, Rocco. You're doing the best. You're the chosen one. We'll follow you forever, but not like at a nice enough distance where you don't know we're there.
You know,
And
that-
it won't be we won't go to the winter caravan. It's fine.
yeah, you know that wasn't a call in, right, James? Okay, I think he knows that.
Yeah.
C-dubs.
I don't think he knows.
I don't know. My first question is
For Rocco.
for Rocco. Why
It's
did
not
you?
a call in, dude. He's
No.
not there.
Why did he? Gosh darn it! You turned that around. I mean, that's great.
Oh,
Why did he decide to choose the location for him to make that announcement outdoors with wind? Like he
I
could
kept
have
wondering that too.
like, and okay, so you probably would be like, well, he was probably at the stadium, or there's a really cool backdrop, you know, he's outdoors, you know, he's showing that he's, you know, enjoying himself. No, the backdrop was like all brown and it was like it wasn't like what like nothing really discerned. Like it wasn't like woods and like a river or anything. It was just like a brown like land and like a couple trees, and like you couldn't really see how tall the trees were. Couldn't see really any sky. It was just all brown, gross looking background. So it wasn't like he was like brown leaves and shit. And he wasn't like wearing like a hunter's outfit, like he was out like hunting or anything. And it's like, oh, I just got the news. I better let the fans know. I just got this while I was hunting. I should let them know right now by tweeting this. No, it looked like it was probably his backyard, like he was in backyard clothes. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, Rocco? I love you.
He's
but
the chosen one, dude. You don't question his
I
methods.
suppose. Okay.
He doesn't know sound. He has no sound design.
No, he shouldn't worry about that.
He knows everything.
But that was nice. It was very humanizing of a god. So that was nice. Yeah, that sucks. I was really looking forward to going to another winter caravan. We did that last year, right, James?
Yeah. With Ari Adrianza and Brent Rooker and Tony Olila.
That was just last year. It seems so
Yeah,
long
dude.
ago.
That was in the before times. But no, we'll get another winter caravan here in hopefully a year.
Yeah,
Another year.
It will really. We
For
will,
sure in 2 years.
Man, we've upgraded our skills so much in 1 year. Imagine we will probably be able to like ask them questions, like in real life.
Yeah.
We'll have hologram call-ins by then.
Yeah, because the pandemic won't be done, and we'll need holograms. We'll need like the Star Trek shit.
It'll be a huge boom in the hologram technology.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun, but
I guess
not for the reason for it to happen. Moving on to. Oh, I had all these fucking. I had all these lined up, and then my computer crashed. No, it didn't really
man.
crash.
Did you know the Timberwolves are gonna re-sign Beasley?
James.
Did you know that?
Yeah, like I saw that like 4 years. Isn't he the one that got in trouble just recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is.
We had speculated that maybe he went,
It's just kind of
Continue,
mind blowing,
but-
man.
but no, they're gonna re-sign him, which is good. He's a good player,
Okay.
Right?
He's got to be, right?
I mean, I like
Let him
him.
take that risk.
He has a felony. He has a felony over his head. For okay, so
Oh.
this last summer, a couple pulled up that was in a parade of homes, pulled up to his house in an SUV, and he came out with an assault rifle.
Yeah.
And pointed it at them,
Or a shotgun. I don't remember.
or a shotgun.
A gun.
And then
And I think
and then
they
the-
had found other
and
two
the-
guns or
and
something.
then
in
the
the
police responded, and there was an overwhelming smell of the marijuana, and so he got arrested and now is facing felony prison charges.
So they re-signed him.
So they resigned him. Well, it really shows really good faith in him.
Yeah.
Or his
that
lawyers.
because they had him play. He appeared in Minnesota for 14 games, averaged like 20.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.9 assists, 33.1 minutes per game. Shot 47% from the field and 42% from long distance for the Wolves, which is awesome.
I hope he's not in too much trouble and that he can actually play.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's
I mean,
learned
so-
to not approach people with. I guess we don't know what was going on.
we
That's
don't
why
know what's
we'll-
going on.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
At the same time, I just want to add that there were a lot of fucking bad things going on up in the cities during that time. Was that in
Mhm.
was that in the cities?
Yeah, this was
Yeah, it
in
was in a
a.
suburb.
Well, it
a
didn't
suburb.
really even matter if it was in Minneapolis or if it was in Denver, Colorado, or Seattle or wherever. There was a lot of there was
Unrest out in a lot of
unrest
big
going
cities
on,
everywhere.
which understandably. And there was, I know for a fact that in Minneapolis there were there were white supremacists going around in SUVs.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he could have thought that that was what was going on. Once again, not making any judgments because we don't know.
Except against white
anything.
supremacists, we
Yeah.
will judge
Fuck
Yeah, we will.
them all the way
fuck
to hell.
them. Fuck Nazis. Fuck neo Nazis. Fuck any alt right fucking supreme fucking alt right fucking bullshit. Fuck all that shit.
Absolutely.
We're all human. We're all each other's brothers and sisters, and we need to support each other. Just like the WNBA and Cynthia Cooper Dyke. I'd like to just say this quote of hers. I was one of the best young women's basketball players in America, and America had nothing for me. She, not just as a woman, but as just a all right, like as a athlete, one of the best, almost the best, the GOAT. She's won more championships in a row than
anyone else.
Anyone else. Nobody
In anything.
Nobody talks about it.
Yep. Back to back to back to back championships. And her referring to America had nothing for her. It was early in her career. She was seen to be great, and they were like, go play overseas.
She won 4 in a row.
Yep.
From 97 to 2000, the Houston Comets won 4 consecutive WNBA championships. And
I would suggest everyone to read this article too. She wrote a great piece in the Players Tribune.
Yep. And it's being tweeted right now because we're talking about it.
Yep. It's a great eye-opening story about women's basketball and how underappreciated it is in mainstream sports.
So
because it's not
true.
like they don't go through the same struggles as any other basketball player or athlete. They go through the same shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they just don't expect congratulations pat in the back for every little thing they do.
Once again, we're all human. We're all each other's brothers and sisters. We're all stardust. We all deal with the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Give some fucking respect to the people that deserve it. Say her name. Once again. Cynthia Cooper Dyke. Awesome, awesome player. You should definitely check her out. Go to our Facebooks or Twitter. We have the links up right now. Educate yourself.
Yeah.
I guess that's what that's all we're asking.
Before you eradicate yourself.
So
That's how the saying goes.
I'm going to NHL.
I didn't hear anything about the NHL.
Well, nah. I mean, the NHL did a great job at bubbling themselves up during the season. And then, since they learned from being on the bubble, they decided to go. Wait a minute. Breaking news. The NHL is not in season, so they're not in the bubble, and they did not learn their lessons. Four of the Vegas Golden Knights players have tested positive for COVID-19. The team confirmed on Monday night. Those individual players have been self-isolating and are all recovering well. The team said in a statement without identifying which players tested positive. As a precautionary measure, the Golden Knights off-ice player areas, locker room, lounge, gym, training room, and video room will be closed to all players and team staff through the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Also, the Columbus Blue Jackets said Tuesday that several players recently tested positive for COVID-19 while preparing for the new season and went into quarantine.
Okay.
So obviously
stay there.
they did not learn their fucking lesson when they were in the bubble, that the bubble keeps them safe. A bubble keeps you safe.
Mm-hmm.
Bubbles are the best thing ever invented. Proven. I mean,
Proven.
And it's
proven now.
and proven now, and also it's going to be harder for the people that have been in a bubble to keep their bubble safe, because there are more and more people that are infected, because it's gotten astronomical now.
Hmm.
You
Much
know,
worse than.
and the way I always go back to stats, and that's the place that you always should go, especially if you're a sports person. If you are a fucking sports person and you don't believe in this shit, don't be into sports, because stats matter. Stats matter to a sports person, right?
Yeah.
They care about how many points somebody gets, or how many rebounds somebody gets, or how many home runs or RBIs or tackles or whatever, right? That's part of being a sports person. Am I wrong?
No.
Well, let's put this in terms that people will understand then. Right now, our team is losing by like 250,000 points. Like, it's a lot of
Right
points,
on.
dude.
That's a
Right
great way
on.
to put that.
And then 250,000 points, it's going to be really hard to come back.
Can't overtake that. It's gonna be really hard to. And those are points we never get back. That's a loss.
And yeah, so
They're people. They're not points. They're people.
and they're people. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
That this is
better than
affecting
points.
people. It's not just making people sick. It's not just I'm gonna get it and become immune. People don't know what it's going to do to their system, even if they don't pass away. They don't know what's going to happen in the future with them now that they have had it. And if they do pass away, it fucking sucks. Because, like, I can't say his last name. Fred Sasakamus.
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 I'm really sorry for the bad pronunciation, but he's one of the NHL's first Indigenous players. He died at the age of 86. He played the 11 NHL games for Chicago in 1953 to 1954, making his debut at 18 on November 20th in 1953 against Boston. The forward failed to score in a short NHL stint, logging only 6 penalty minutes, and spent most of the season with the Junior Moose Jaw Canucks. And people would say, well, he was old. He's 86. I say, fuck you.
He didn't have to die.
He didn't have to die. If he didn't
Not
catch
now.
COVID, he would be still alive.
It's tragic.
And like I said,
Tragic, and it's gonna keep happening.
it's gonna.
Everyone get your bubbles.
And with stats, man, it's gonna keep happening more and more exponentially.
Unless we ourselves make the change.
You have to make the change.
Mm-hmm.
And that change is not just washing your hands, not just wearing a mask. It's not going out. Stay home. Go to your sidewalk, whatever, but stay home. There is no reason for you to go to Walmart or Target or Caribou Coffee or Starbucks or
Nothing cool there you haven't seen already.
Why fucking go to McDonald's? So I was driving
Same
around
old shit.
today. I was driving around today, but I have a job.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Just me. I'm gonna drive around. Just kidding.
Right. But I saw people in line at Starbucks.
Inside.
No, outside in their cars.
Oh, okay.
But why going to Starbucks? Why are you going to Starbucks?
Why are you going to Starbucks right now? Why? Like
'Cause
why
I-
are you waiting your car? Like as in like there were cars outside the parking lot waiting in line through the drive-through to get their fucking Starbucks.
I don't want to see the end of a pandemic in a world without Starbucks. I
That's-
have to make sure they survive.
Isn't that the
Even if
question?
I don't, I want them to.
And that's what I'm getting at. We're in a pandemic, and you should be asking yourself, and this is the change you should try putting in your head into, is ask yourself, is it worth dying to go to the gas station to get that energy drink? Is it worth dying to go to Walmart to get that whatever you need, whatever you think you need? You have to put it in your mind
essential.
that there's a possibility, like I was saying in the beginning of the episode, there's a possibility that if I leave my house and go to that gas station, I am going to die. That's the way you have to look at this now. It's the way you should have been looking at it in the beginning, but you have to now. Because we are at that precedent point where there are going to be there are already so many people sick because they went home for Thanksgiving and they didn't care. And there's so many people right now that have no idea that they're sick and they're fucking spreading it because they're not getting tested every day like these athletes.
And many won't get tested even if they had the option to. don't
They
wanna
feel
believe it.
fine.
So
They feel fine.
yeah, so
I feel fine.
So please, I want you to be healthy, and I don't want you to worry about being sick and what the shit's going to do to you in the future after you had it or anything. I want you to be able to keep on listening. Moving on.
Play video games. Stay home.
Stay home.
Play video
Play
games.
video games.
Watch the MLS on Thursday.
Oh, MLS.
On Thursday.
Yep, on Thursday, Minnesota United Football Club.
Yes.
It's gonna play their Western Conference semifinal game against Kansas City, Sporting KC as they're known. It was supposed to happen Wednesday, but is being moved to Thursday, and will be at 7 p.m. I believe Central Standard Time
Okay.
on Fox.
Okay. Well, hopefully that they all stay healthy and
Mm-hmm.
have a good match, right? Is it called a match?
Yes, it's called a
Called
match.
right?
Mm-hmm. So good luck, Loons. I hope they get a win. I hope they keep it going.
Oh,
My
dude.
LAFC's out, so they're my team now.
Dude. There's a big news down right now. You ready? We're getting to the thing.
What?
We're getting to the thing.
The big news?
Yeah.
Tyson fought
With boxing gloves on.
with boxing gloves on. What? This is like his first time in what? 12 years?
19.
15 years?
19
15 or 12 years? Something like that?
Since 1950, 12.
1950-12.
Oh, man.
He did it.
He
He
looked
did it.
Good.
He looked good.
Freaking good.
It was
It's just
so
kind of
good.
mind blowing, man.
It was
It
mind
was.
blowing. Like, okay, so we watched it, and Roy Joy, say his name.
Roy Joy.
Well, say his name. Like,
Roy Blunt
Jones
Jr.
what?
Roy Blunt Jr.
No,
Jones.
Roy
Roy
Jones Jr. I can't say that. Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
He retired 3 years ago, and came back, and within this, he was looking all right. You know, like pretty much what you expected, right? As a retired heavyweight boxer.
From like 3 years ago versus someone that hadn't played for 12 years.
12 or 15, something like that.
Okay.
And so Roy looked good for a retired boxer, and this heavyweight. You know, he's a little overweight now because those muscles had turned, and he was out of breath by the second round, and there was 8 rounds.
He was just gassed almost the whole time.
Oh no.
But he got a couple punches in there, and
Got him.
and then the last round through it was looking good, and then there's Tyson. And Tyson looked great. He
He's ducking
was
behind those gloves.
in shape, ducking behind the gloves, juking and jiving. You could tell that he was holding
And then
back.
he wails.
Yeah, no, he was holding back because of it was an exhibition match. You could tell. You could tell that he was getting frustrated and he wanted to go further, but he didn't, which was kind of neat to see. It was my first time. It was my first time in my adult life.
Watching Tyson fight.
No, to see one of the greats. It's like I've seen Tyson fight before, and I was young, adult life here. Never saw Jordan play at his prime. I mean, when I was a kid, I did, but not as an adult. But to see one of the greats actually perform at their sport is amazing. And I really wish I would have seen him when I was an adult, when I was young, when back in the day, because that would have been something else. And it was amazing to hear the announcer and Roy talk about the fight afterwards, because they were talking about the fight like Tyson wasn't even there. Like Roy kept on saying stuff like, "Yeah, man, he hits real hard. They say they hits really hard, and he hits really fucking hard." And they weren't even addressing Tyson like he was in the room. And it was fucking funny because it was just it's known. There's no question
the
about
presence
it. He
in
is
the air.
He is the best at that sport. He hits fucking hard like fucking bricks, and he still does after 15 years of being out of the sport.
Jeez.
The whole thing was a pretty good spectacle too. Even the performances, the other matches, even though they weren't as competitive, they were interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg doing play-by-play for the match.
That was
cool
a lot of
too.
fun. They had some really good acts in between as well. And then so they kept on asking Roy about how he hits and stuff, and then Tyson wanted to interrupt, and I got a little soundbite of that.
A lot of people were afraid, Roy, you might get hurt tonight. Were you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen that might have put you in peril?
I was afraid I might get hurt. I didn't fight in 20 years. He only stopped fighting for 3 years. I'm afraid I might get. Why nobody care about my ass?
Well, that's typical,
I've been
right?
fighting 15 years. He stopped fighting 3 years ago, and everybody worrying about his ass.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Did he ever hurt you tonight?
I'm a
Well, listen,
beginner.
he surprised me with the hook. He hit me with a hook, a good hook.
Hurt.
Yes, it did hurt.
And back to the question, were you afraid of being in peril?
Man, once I go in there, it's all balls to the wall, bro. I mean, I feel the shots, and I know they're going to hurt, and I know he could take me out if it's possible if he came with the wrong one. But for me, man, I'm game. I go to the end. When I put these on, it's a wrap. Take me on the stretcher.
So
Yeah.
Tyson has a good humor.
What about me? What about me?
The thing is that he doesn't smile at all. So with him being him, people are worried that he's not joking. You can tell that the announcer's like, and it's like me being a straight faced person making jokes, I could tell that like Tyson was joking. And man, I don't know. This Tyson character it's really starting to have a redemption arc. And
I agree. I see him in a much brighter light than I ever have.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. That's a very good way to say it, because I want to see more before I really state that I'm chilling with this dude. But I mean, they asked him about obviously you're in good shape. Here, I got the clip here.
Yeah, you get a
Final thought. Would you do this in a non-exhibition circumstance if you could get a license?
No, I'm just going to do this. This is bigger than fighting for winning the championship. We're humanitarians. We're helping people. That's bigger. I'm into that now.
He's into that.
Right?
I'm into that.
I'm into that. And then he was talking about he wants to have another exhibition match. And then Roy, he really wants to have Roy on the card, which would be really cool. They did a draw. Yeah, Just really, really neat. And then he had an interview after the match the next day, and this is what he had to say.
Have you already had a joint?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming down. Yeah. Well, listen, I can't stop smoking. I smoked during fights. I used to have to smoke. I'm sorry, I'm a smoker.
Did you have any marijuana leading up to the training of this fight?
I smoke every day. I never stopped smoking.
Did you have one right before the fight?
Absolutely, yes.
How does the marijuana effect help you into the fight?
It's just who I am. It has no effect on me from a negative standpoint. It's just what I do and who I am and how I'm gonna die.
Did it
There's no
help?
explanation. There's no beginning. There's no end.
Did it help numb the pain a little bit that you might have felt?
No, it just numbs me. It doesn't numb the pain.
Mm-hmm. And you said you want to help other people, but doing it at the sacrifice of your own health at the age of 54, taking punches to the head, do you think that's a good idea?
But that's what it's all about. I've done everything for myself. So what happens if I die? No, really, what happens? I may begin to live when I die. No one knows what dying's like. It has to be beautiful. Dying can't be bad because living is great. So dying has to be something special.
Mike, your legacy in this sport is unique and it's beloved. You're one of the most beloved figures in the history of boxing. Before this fight, was there pressure on you thinking, man, if I go out there and I don't look great, perhaps I might hurt my past? Or did you feel just so confident in yourself that that never entered your mind?
Wow, I never asked me that. The thought of failure never creeped in my mind. I never had that failure. I don't know. I don't damn. That was a hell of a question.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, in a way of it's how do I answer that question? I never think of I always think of myself as grandeur. I always think of myself as a roaring gladiator like Alexander the Great. I feel like I'm a ruler when I'm in my mind thinking about accomplishing something. I think nothing's impossible.
So yeah.
Some great quotes.
Yeah, right? It's kind of neat. And this has kind of been a little bit of a motif that we've had throughout the podcast is talking about, I mean, I suppose it's kind of a motif with professional athletes of violence and bad behaviors off the field. And what do they do after that happens? Because we all three of us are on the same page, and I believe that our fans and people that are listening would be kind of on the same page with us. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, and correct me if I'm wrong. But if somebody does wrong, we're all on the aspect of you can be forgiven. But you have to show you have to go through the process. Work. You have to do the work, right? And I don't know. I'm gonna follow this story more. I got to. I feel like I have to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time for some AEW.
Brings us to AEW. There's big, exciting things coming up, Charlie. I heard that they took the Game of Thrones, the God of Wars, or whatever's slogan, and said that the winter's coming.
Yes, winter is coming.
What does that mean?
That is their non-pay-per-view style, but the big event they're doing on Dynamite. It's going to be called Winter's Coming, I guess.
When is
that?
But
it's mostly they're doing the big night. They're going to have Moxley versus Kenny Omega, and also a Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale.
Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale.
I like battle royales.
That's a lot of words. That's DDBR in the acronyms. Hashtag
the old
DDBR. DDBR.
DDBR.
But
I like
they
it.
did this last year, and MJF won it, and that's where he got his ring that he always hits everyone with.
That's what that's about.
That's where that comes from. Is he won the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale last year?
You got the diamond ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so this year they've got a huge list of people, and it's funny because most of these people are in factions together. So you've got MJF and Wardlow and Sammy Guevara, who are all in the inner circle. You've got John Silver and Alex Reynolds, who are in the Dark Order. You've got Kip Sabian and Miro, who are buddies. You've got Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, and Isaiah Cassidy, who are all Private Party, Party, thing.
So it's
very interesting. There'll be a lot of cohesion for some of these groups and then have to deal with who do we eliminate.
So all the factions against each other, basically.
Yes, many factions,
And
but they're
also-
it's all one-on-one though. So it all is one-on-one.
There's a good potential of seeing some of these factions have to look at some competition within each other.
Yes.
And
so this should be a very interesting one. I actually have a prediction for
I was
this.
just gonna ask, like, what are your thoughts on what's gonna happen here?
So I think because MJF won it last year and he just joined the inner circle, I thought, well, how great would it be if Sammy Guevara won it this year? And then the two of them feud over the ring.
That would make total sense, dude.
That'd be so cool. I mean, I could see a couple people on here winning this. Scorpio Sky would be another person I'd like to see win it, or Orange Cassidy.
No,
I think Sammy would make the most sense.
No, now that you say that, it sounds like just like the Omega versus Hangman Page in that bracket match.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have had to have happened. That has to happen. That's exactly what I think.
We'll call him up. We'll call him up. Tell him how the script should go.
We'll let him know.
And then we have Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes versus the Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks.
Yep. Which I think is a preview of them showing us future match, which will be Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks. I think that'll be a championship match we'll get at Revolution or something like that.
Yeah, they really haven't gone that route a whole lot yet.
No. So I think they're trying to protect it because they're going to do it later.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. We got Chris Jericho and Frankie Kazarian, which is just a pickup battle from last week. They created a little heat with each other. Squash match for Britt Baker because she's got to get her wins up there so she can get back in the top 5 again and hopefully fight for the AEW Women's Championship. But of course, the big thing everyone's looking for is the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega as the main event. So that should be huge.
Dude,
that already happened, I thought.
It happened as a lights out match. So that actually did not count towards their record.
Who won that one?
And that one was won by Jon Moxley. So even though Moxley beat Omega, he technically didn't. So he's not beaten Omega officially yet. So a lot of intrigue on that match because I think there's a good chance we could see a title change, but I also believe Moxley could totally beat Omega straight up. So it's a very interesting match.
That's going to be a fun week. Something to look forward to.
Oh yeah. I look forward to it much.
I look forward.
I also look forward to Fuzzy Memory Trivia, which is up now. As we all know, Fuzzy Memory Trivia is a trivia-based game where I ask the contestants some questions about sports, and then they answer those questions with some answers about sports.
Sometimes.
Last week we had a couple scores happen. We are now at 11-11. Jamez is one of the contestants, and C-Dubs is one of the contestants.
Come on down.
Jamez starts first. Which Dolphins player was named an All-Pro in 2012 after accumulating 15 sacks?
Dan Marino.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
Is it Cameron Wake?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
You actually knew that, huh?
That makes more sense.
It's literally the only Dolphins player I know who's good on defense.
I like that gong.
That was good.
Where was the C-Dubs? Now that you stole that answer,
I stole it.
you get the next one. Where was the American League wildcard game played in 2016?
Card game 2016 was played in let's say Chicago.
Incorrect.
Damn.
James.
It was in New York.
Incorrect.
Good news, everyone.
It was Toronto. That was the wrong button.
Good news. It was Toronto.
James. What African country fielded a men's volleyball team that qualified for the 2008 Olympics?
Chad.
Incorrect. C-Dubs.
Nigeria.
Incorrect. Egypt. C-Dubs. Singer Michael Bublé is known for his support for which hometown NHL team?
Bublé, I will say for the Los Angeles Kings.
Incorrect. James.
Oh, the Whalers.
Incorrect. The Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the end of Fuzzy Memory Trivia. C-Dubs got 1 point. James got 0. It is now 12-11.
19.
Once again, if you want to sponsor Fuzzy Memory Trivia, go to fuzztalkradio.com or fuzztalkshop.com and purchase yourself a Fuzzy Memory Trivia Championship shirt or hoodie or tote bag or whatever you want.
Socks.
There's a lot of different things,
I saw socks
options
in
and
there.
colors to choose from, and you will become, just like us, a Fuzzy Memory champion.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. And James,
Hi.
I have a Fuzzy Memory Trivia t-shirt coming
Oh, yeah?
for you. It's coming in the mail. You're a
Well.
champion as well. I'm letting you know. And
Okay.
And bum ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. Aw,
I got you guys presents too for the whatever times.
Yay, whatever. I love
Whatever times. Happy Merry
Yeah,
whatevers.
thank you.
So I got you guys presents.
I didn't get you anything.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
This is the whatever times. You can open them now, or you can wait until the whatever time that you want to open them.
Okay.
So,
I love
that.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll be sending them in the mail. They'll be nice and sanitized and everything for you. We are at the end of the show. We went a good amount of time this week. That's what's fun about Fuzz Jock Radio. You never know what's going to happen. You guys got big plans going on this next week other than just staying inside and playing video games? Like,
dude.
What's your feelings? What's going on? Huh?
I feel like it's gonna be December soon. Is that a thing?
December?
Yes.
Do I have to like? I think there's a time coming soon where I'll like turn the page on a calendar. That's what you call those? The little paper page
thing
thingy
that
has
is
the
that
days.
that thing that has the Far Side joke on it every day? And I
Yeah.
rip that off.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming up where we gotta turn to the page. I think. Turn the page every now and then. A little late. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got my Star Trek D&D coming up this week, so I'm very excited for
Oh,
that.
that's fun.
dude.
That sounds
Space
like,
battles.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yep.
I am going to play video games on my Twitch stream. That is twitch.tv/afuzzyworld if you want to check it out. I play a lot of boring ass video games while I talk really boringly. Actually, I don't really talk a whole lot. I usually just stare at the screen while playing video games, and you can talk to me while I do that. No, it's gonna be too late after I get everything edited. I was gonna say I'll probably play tonight, but it's getting late.
I'll be on there talking about Mortal Kombat.
I will see you in the future. I love you, Mankato.